Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 413 for Tuesday, the 18th of August, 2015. Tonight we've got quite the show for you. Erika and I are going to be showing you all about the fundamentals of Google Analytics. I suppose we're going to be looking at right from the get-go how we get it set up, how we use this free tool in order to track your website, blog visitors, and even drive traffic to certain areas of the world. So we've got a lot to cover tonight. We've also got stuff to give away. You've been casting your ballots. We've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to show you tonight. And some great news stories. Hey, Sasha.
Hey, this is going to be a great hour. Here's what's coming up in the Category 5.tv newsroom. UK mobile firm EE has recalled a portable charger it had given away after a medical student was left with severe burns after using one. Airbus has won a patent for a hypersonic passenger plane which could potentially fly from London to New York in an hour. The persistent rumors about Apple building some kind of car have felt at times like they were powered purely by Apple fans desperate for something new and exciting. Now there's proof. Samsung has unveiled what appears to be the world's largest hard drive, and it's an SSD. Windows 10's first major update has stranded some users in an endless loop of reboots. They released the pilot this past weekend, and we've got some seriously big news about the future of Star Trek Renegades. Stick around, the full details are coming up later in the show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
This is Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 413. So great to see you. I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Erika Lalonde, and it's great to see everyone.
Hey!
It's been a while.
I got stuff to give away. Before we get into it, how you been? How's your summer?
Oh, it's been great. Just
school is like picking back up again.
School just
it's never ending with her.
I never end.
Never ending.
I'm always working, and I'm going back to school, and I'll be going down to Lakeshore campus.
Hey, I've got a great idea. I'm finally finished school. Let's do school some more.
Yay!
Hey, you know, that's fun if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, well, how you been? It's been a while. So.
It has been a while.
Enough kidding.
Yeah.
Serious now.
It has been.
Yeah. What have you been, just to give a little preliminary, and we'll talk more about it, but what have you been studying at school?
So,
what's your major?
So my major was marketing.
Ooh.
And now the reason why I am going back to school is to further my education with business accounts. So I'm going back for a business co-op.
Oh,
so
okay,
basically
cool.
I'll be working and in school at the same time. So I guess I just never left school.
It's ongoing. All right. Well, we've been collecting your ballots. We've got this free play Buddy. This is an awesome little device that I showed off on episode number 411. Make sure you tune into that episode because we had some really cool product reviews, the teeny drones and all that. Let's take a look at what we got here. This is a solar-powered, crank-powered... This is a brand new one. I don't even know if it has any charge because it's never even seen sunlight. But you can. Oh, the battery's not even released. I better not do that, right? Because I'm going to send this to you.
Right.
But you crank it up. It's got a flashlight. It's got a radio. It's got it all. We're going to send you one of those. So we're going to hop on over to Drawbot. And Drawbot, of course, has collected your ballots over the past week. So here we go.
This is exciting. Who's going to win?
This is for the free play Buddy. Check it out. Okay, who do we see? D-Man 810. Nice to see ya. Greg and orange, man. Whoa, Drawbot is moving fast tonight. Don't waste any time, Drawbot. We need to do this. Free Play Buddy has NOAA weather stations, and the winner is... Wow, it really didn't give us a lot of time, and I don't even know what D-Man 810.
Woohoo! Yay!
Way to go! And you should see me whacking away at the board here, trying to get the right music to play.
Winning music.
Yeah, D-Man 810, awesome stuff. This is it will charge your phone. So you can crank it, you can put it on the dash of the car. I put one on the windowsill, and it keeps it always charging, and you see that charge light going, and then you can plug in your phone, charge it. It's got the AM, FM radio, the NOAA weather channel, as I said. So if there's a weather emergency or whatever, they can cut in, and you can hear what's going on.
My favorite thing about it is the crank. You know, if you don't have it charged, you don't have the sun, what are you going to do? You don't have a flashlight? You crank it up.
When you're digging tunnels and such, it's no sun, right? So there you go.
No.
It's got multi-LED light and everything. Check them out. It's from Free Play. And we will post the links in the show notes for episode number 413. But that is going to D-Man 810. Congratulations. All you have to do, D-Man 810, is send me an email. You can send that to live@category5.tv. I just need your mailing address, and that's going to go to the post. So congratulations, and thank you to everybody for participating in the draw. That was a lot of fun.
I get so lucky. You're always giving away stuff when I'm here.
Always giving away stuff.
And you're always giving away stuff.
I'm working to always give
general.
away stuff. That's
every time
the plan.
I pop up, I'm like, oh, it's awesome.
Speaking of giving away stuff, it doesn't have to be tangible stuff that's given away. Nate UK is one of our viewers in the chat room tonight. Nice to see you. Has been giving away his time working on a brand new Kodi channel for Category 5 TV. So we're really excited to see the progress of this channel that he's been developing for you, the viewers. Really great way to contribute to the community by adding his skills to the community in that way. Certainly something that I have wanted to see happen, and people have been asking for Kodi channels and Plex channels and things like that, but it's a lot of time to code this kind of stuff. So to have someone like Nate UK step up and say, hey, I'll do that.
That's so awesome.
We really appreciate that. And I know the community is greatly going to appreciate that as well. You can go right over to GitHub, and I'm sure we'll post links in the chat room there. Nate, if you're there, yeah, I see you there. If Nate UK, if you could post a link to the GitHub page so that people can bring that up and install that on their Kodi install. It's coming along real well. I understand that he's actually working right now on testing live view. So maybe a few minutes in, he'll get that working, and he'll be able to say in the chat room that, hey, got it working. There you go. GitHub.com/NateUK. Just like it sounds. And it's working. He says live view is working. Way to go. We're 8 minutes in, and he's already got it going.
Wow.
Way to go. Fantastic. Have you ever thought, hey, I'd really like to have a t-shirt like Robbie that has brands on it, like Teespring and such? Teespring's great. I mean, they make some awesome T-shirts, but you've got to basically sell so many of them in order for them to go to print. There is a way that you can do just one T-shirt if you wanted to, or if you want to get a good deal on T-shirts for your sports team, your event that is going to be going on. We have a deal for you, cat5.tv/shirt. Check it out. No minimum orders. Free shipping, and a very good turnaround time as well. cat5.tv/shirt. I want to draw attention to Nature Sounds of Ontario, Canada. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting that channel. That is nature.category5.tv, and of course you'll find it on our Roku channel. Coming soon to Kodi as well. That'll be a part of our channel there. We've got more stuff coming to Nature Sounds of Ontario, Canada. People have been purchasing the lossless WAV files. I really appreciate that. And that goes back to supporting Category 5 TV network as a whole. And we were talking about people, giving and we've been receiving. So Lyndon sent me something cool. It's a keychain. He said he was going to send me this for. It's kind of like a late birthday present, but it is it's something to do with Doctor Who for sure. I think it's from Gallifrey. What do you think, Adam? Is that Gallifreyan? I think so. So Kind of cool. And then we thank you, Lyndon, and I appreciate the birthday wish.
Has Lyndon seen our public call box?
We've got the call box there, so make sure you check out the behind the scenes so that you can see the TARDIS that leads to the closet that is smaller on the inside. How does that work? Okay, and then I got something I got this today, Whiskey Zero. This was unexpected, and I was in the front seat of the van, and what is this?
Oh, no.
I've been saying we need to get a shelving unit back here or something like that.
The Star Trek theme.
Just a shelf with random paraphernalia, and what is better than a legacy DOS game, Star Trek Judgment Rights. And it's mint, man. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Old Salt sent this to me. I'm sorry, Old Salt. I said Whiskey Zero because I was watching the chat there. It's just like one of those things. But thank you, Whiskey Zero, for being here. Old Salt sent this in to us. And it's got like a DVD or something, too. What is that?
Is that
like a
is that a VHS?
Nice. I'm going to have to... it's got a pin. Anyway, this is awesome, Old Salt. Thanks, man.
That is...
So this is going to end up on the shelf behind us.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Limited edition, too.
It is limited edition.
Wow.
And like a DOS game. Oh, I should read Old Salt's message as well. It says, I realize it's a DOS game, but I had to get it for you. After all, it is Star Trek. It's also limited edition, although I don't know if you already have it. Don't have it, but do now. Thanks, Old Salt. Whether you play it or not, can you play a DOS game? DOSBox, maybe? We'll give it a try. I hope you enjoy owning it. From one Trekkie to another from Old Salt. Thanks, man. And yeah, that's definitely going to go on display here at Studio D. So thank you.
You never know. It could be a future episode.
A future episode from the past. The laptop came in. So thank you to everyone who has been supporting the show. It's an i7, and we were able to get this. I mentioned that it's a B grade laptop, so we were able to get it for like $250, but it's a nice little Latitude. For that price is fantastic. So an i7 dual core, but it's going to do the job for us. But it got here today, and surprise, no operating system installed. I thought it was going to come pre-installed, and so we were rushing. You notice that I got Debian on there with Cinnamon, but it wasn't ready in time. So we're using a borrowed laptop from Sasha tonight. But so that's going to be fantastic, and thank you to everybody who's been supporting Category 5 TV, the network, and Category 5 Technology TV and our other shows. And you can do that through Patreon at patreon.com/Category5. It's a really fun way to support the show, and we appreciate everyone who's been doing that. Okay, are we ready to get into it?
Well...
That's like enough of that. All the room cleaning stuff.
Are we ready to dig deep?
Well, tell us about marketing. You've been studying marketing,
yes.
And so Google Analytics is a big part of the current methodology of marketing a website, yes. Promoting it in Google and other search engines. It's important to know how people are finding you, right. So that you can kind of tweak things.
Right. So you can tweak basically your approach to your potential targeted market, and to know if you're even reaching your target market. Are you reaching the demographics that you hoped for? Are you even reaching for the users on the operating systems that you hoped for? And are you even reaching users that are using the social media that you are also using outside of your blog or outside of your website? And how can you fix your current approach to your online blog and website to better optimize user engagement?
So what is Google Analytics? It's a free tool.
It's completely free, and it was designed by Google in 2006. And it's just been completely updated, and just there's been so many developers that have just made it so easy.
We'll get into that. I'll challenge your ease of use statement.
For the people who have not had any prior education to coding, or to the idea of making your own scripts, and as well, like you said, you had made one, and what was the what was the idea of the one that you
Well,
had?
we're gonna look at, once we get into reporting, because reporting is a big deal when it comes to your analytics data, because you need to know, as Erika's saying, well, how are people finding you? Who are they? What are they searching for? What search engines are they using? And is it leading to, we look at things like bounce rate. So are they just hitting your website and then going back to the search engine and saying, oh, that was an inappropriate result, and you're not actually holding on to them on your site? You need to be able to track that kind of information. That's where the reporting comes in. And we'll look at one of my tools a little bit later on the show.
Also, with that, because with your experience, you can throw that into Google Analytics. And with someone without that, they can just use a...
Sure.
Because kind of like an all-in-one, get your reports, get your analytics, and also improve your SEO rating online. And also improve engagement without going to any other sites but Google Analytics. It's just basically something that you can have on your mobile device. You can check it on the go, and you can actually now create alerts. So they'll email you, Google will email you if they notice a change in your traffic.
So if something's going weird or wonky, you'll know about it. Or if something's going really positive. Very cool.
And there's been slight changes since it's been around. Obviously trying to create ease of access.
Sure.
But we're noticing now that just more and more sites are using Google Analytics, but they actually aren't fully optimizing the full potential of the site.
Let's get into a little bit of... We're really looking at the fundamentals tonight, getting you started with Google Analytics. And this is with the purpose of helping you to improve your search engine optimization, to understand some of the tools that are freely available to you, and really utilize a platform that is robust, easy to use, and free of charge to use. So it's really fantastic. Google has an infrastructure as well that is so huge, and so... the resources that are available to you are massive. So it's not like installing Pewik, for example, on a local server and then having to host your own analytics data to be able to figure out who's visiting your website. It's not a hit counter. It's nothing like that. It's much more robust than that. But because you're using their servers in order to track and manage this data,
there are slight limitations.
I think you'd have to be pretty darn big in order to reach those limitations, and at that point you are making some serious change, and you don't mind paying the bill. But for the general user, you and I, we're going to be looking at the free service. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think it starts with, you need a Google account.
Right.
And then you go to google.com/analytics, and when you're there, you create your account, it's a click of a button, create account. You create your property, and property would be, the name of your overseeing business, for example. And then you create individual tracking codes within that property, which are, the various websites, our online store, our main website, and the different things that you want to track separately of one another.
And you can do up to 50 websites.
Per account.
Per account.
Per account. And you can create numerous accounts. So really, that's pretty limitless as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's actually crazy to even think of that they do this all for you and just throw it all there, and you have this one site to go to, and it's awesome.
Let's look at what the tracking code looks like to you, the end user. So this is tracking code that I've created just in a sandbox environment, and this is done by simply going to your administrative panel and clicking on tracking info and go to tracking code, and you'll see the code that it gives you there. So this code, it's obviously a JavaScript asynchronous code, so it's deferred until after page load, and then it will track the user information kind of, for the analytics. And then you just copy that, paste it at the end of your code, follow the instructions there, but that's going to start tracking all the data that you need. So then once we've got that, can I just bring up, I don't want to get ahead of where you want to be, but I want to show kind of the panel here as far as that goes. So let's go over to reporting now, and you'll see, kind of an overview of, the current month, the past month, I should say, and information about what country are people coming from, what browser, operating system, service provider, language as well. So if somebody's hitting your website that is, you're getting a lot of Spanish hits, for example, you'd know, hey, maybe I should have some Spanish content. Maybe something that I'm doing is important to the Spanish community, just as one example.
And even I noticed in my past work that your website may reach a location that you never even thought possible.
Tijuana. Welcome. You've got a huge amount of information at your fingertips.
And it's huge, and that's why you and I are here today, to just start off with the beginning steps to Google Analytics. So
we've created our account. We've got an analytics tracking code for our property. What's next?
So once we have our tracking code, we have to put it onto either each page or just on, if you have a, let's say you have Blogger and versus a website. Blogger actually does...
Right. WordPress even. Any of those. You can get a Google Analytic drop-in module.
So simple. A drop-in Google Analytic. It's actually done right for you, thrown into your template, and that's it.
Right.
It literally, I think when I had installed it, it took me longer to wait for the analytics to pop up the next day. And that's another thing. Once you put in your tracking code, you do need to wait for the analytics to start up.
I guess they have to receive enough data to aggregate and actually find any information.
For if you do install it at home right away, it will not pop up. It takes up to 24 hours.
Okay.
So it will work. It just takes the 24 hours.
Don't expect it to all of it. I just installed it. I'm waiting. I got my mom and my dad and my brother and sister. They all clicked on it, and it's still not coming up. So we've got all that stuff in place. And so
number one,
where do we go? What do we do?
Number one, you want to make sure you are not tracking yourself. So,
and what she means by that is I'm the guy sitting there going refresh, refresh, refresh every time I make a change on my website, bumping up my page views. So it's kind of illegitimate traffic.
And some people don't realize that until you've already started up your website or your business.
And I have 10,000 views in the first hour. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's so awesome. Man, I must be famous already. But it's one of those things that you really do need to know. And you can actually put limitations on there, but just do your, it's basically your email. So when you go to Google Analytics...
So you're going to show us how we can do this on the panel here. And we've got a bit of a disconnect because while Erika explains things, I'm going to bring them up on the screen for you. Just quickly backing up a little bit to tracking code and thinking along the lines of PHP. And Erika touched on the fact that you don't want to just drop it into each individual file, because if you do that, what if you miss a file and it's not going to get tracked? So it's better if you're not using, say, a WordPress or Blogger blog, where you can just drop in a module. It's handy to use something like a PHP include in all your files. If you've got a file, for example, like a footer.php that you include in every single web page, might as well put it in there.
I found that way the most effective, so I'm not missing when I add a page.
Yes.
Because
and if you do, then it's not tracking.
Right, and you want to know the overall success of that new page. So that's something as well that I found simple for me to use, was just an overall put the script right down at the bottom of the footer. Make sure it's there, and I've had no issues.
Perfect. All right, let's take a look at the dashboard and see. Where do you want me to go, Erika?
So when we go to admin.
Okay, so we're going to administer the account up here.
Okay. And we're going to go to user settings. Or
user management there?
User management.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that you have permission at the top.
Yeah, of course. So I created it, right? So I should have, right?
Sometimes you have to reset this to make sure before you start your actual tracking. Because then what happens is then you don't have access to those reports. So you just need to make sure that the email is there before you even...
So first step is making sure that you've got the capability to modify this. So when would that ever not be the case? I guess if someone else created it under a different account and shared it with you, and you only had, say, view access.
Right.
Right.
So if someone's, I had made it for a business and they wanted to get into it.
Yes.
And they can only see from for basically what I've done, and they can't edit it.
Right.
So for better communications, if it's just for yourself, there's no need to worry. But if you're using it for multiple users, then make sure that you add each email that they can all edit on the same account.
That's good from a security standpoint too, because adding, for example, I could add Erika's email and give her read and edit access or something along those lines, but I'm not giving her the username and password for my account,
right?
Which would potentially lead to a security problem. So, because she's bad,
you never
hacking
know.
away all the time. Okay, so we've user management. We've got that. We've got our tracking is taking place. Can we look at a little bit of reporting and where that's going to take us? And that's kind of that's I think where we all want to be when we're first starting out.
Oh yeah, we want to see, are we getting a response? Are we even,
and how, where, what page?
And where do I start my marketing efforts? And this is where marketing can get integrated into Google Analytics.
Okay, let's take a look. Show me around.
So we're looking now at your audience overview. So we're looking at the general sessions, and this is your dashboard.
Okay.
So on your dashboard, you see
pretty basic data.
It's very basic. But from this basic data, there are hidden gems in order for you to optimize the basically referral rate from social media sites.
Okay, so let's go through a little bit. I'll be honest with you, Erika, and I hinted at this at the top of the show, kind of half mockingly, but the reporting tools that are provided by Google are incredibly sophisticated. They can be tweaked really, really well when you have the experience and the know-how to do that.
Yes.
The default reports are okay, but you got to go through a lot of hoops to find the data.
Yes.
You got to understand the metrics that Google presents and all of the different variables that are available to you. So we won't really get into a whole lot of can we look at form customization, or where do you?
Yeah,
because I want to show you a tool that's going to really help you, because we are a little pressed for time at this point. But reporting can be a little bit of a challenge. But when you gain access, I think when you understand how to get access to that data. So
basically, you can apply these filters so you get only the data that you want to look at.
Show me how to do that.
So when you're going, just take a little down there, and you're going to go.
See, this is exactly it. It's vast and wow. Right?
Oh yeah, and it is a little bit like to the average user.
Yeah.
To me, it's just kind of overwhelming. At first, so. What I like to do is I kind of just break it down. So what do I want to look at? So if you just go right down here, and let's go to a quick little thing like mobile. Okay.
Also handy to know, who's using a mobile device versus.
And this can help you with your filters. Okay. So let's say for a filter, do we want it to look at desktop or mobile? Well,
right, okay.
Desktop.
So I can see here, for example, that 99.6% of my website visitors are desktop users.
Right.
So that tells me either, one, I've really messed up and my website is not compatible with mobile, and so Google is not giving me those results, or I'm just not appealing to desktop users. I would be concerned if that was the case, if it was that far skewed. I should be seeing at least 40% mobile these days. I'd say more in the 60% range.
Yeah, so considering mobile app use has gone up.
Big time. So I think that you can almost use that data to realize where you've got problems, just like that. I've only got 2 mobile users out of 531 users. I'm doing something wrong, because keeping in mind Google will pull you from the search results if you're not mobile friendly on mobile devices. maybe I'm doing something wrong.
And then that's where you can kind of dig deeper and go, so out of my mobile users.
It's so crazy.
And this is just one little quick little example, and then you can add filters later on.
Sure.
So,
choose your dimensions, add your filters. Goodness
so let's take a look back to technology on the dashboard. Oh, go down a little bit. Go down.
Okay, down.
Technology.
There. Oh, there's one called Tech. Nice. Okay, so we've got browser and operating system. Okay. We've got network. Can we check out the browsers?
Let's see the browsers.
How many users are using Edge? No, not one.
So
it's fake data.
Safari. So if we see 2 users using Safari, which is generally used on the iPhone, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
So that's where we can start to link that there was, a problem with the mobile tracking, and that, how can we make it better for these users? So we're seeing that Chrome is the number 1.
Obviously.
So to better appeal to them, we have to now adjust, our visual settings as our design compatible for Safari users, and
right. So then we realize more problems.
Right.
Yeah.
But and it kind of, you don't want to get overwhelmed, but it's just one of those things that you can better off, your mobile effectiveness, and to basically have a better customer experience or user experience. So now we can see.
I've clicked on Chrome. I see there's so much data. It's hard to parse. So I said, forget this. Now, I love it. But for you, as you're getting started, do you sense my little bit of frustration at the Google's reporting at Google's reporting process? It is pretty vast, but there's nothing there in place, and Google is usually pretty good at this stuff. There's nothing in place for the entry level. Hey, let's get started. Yes. Welcome to Google Analytics. Click here for a really easy to use report.
Yes.
That would make sense to me. It's sadly lacking from Google Analytics. Analytics, though, remember, is a huge amount of data. All this kind of stuff. Like, we're talking anything you want to know about your website visitor. So their location, not down to the street address, but general location, country, city, that kind of stuff. You're able to pull up a lot of data.
And it's not just that. You can know their behavior. You can know the acquisition. You can know where they came from. We're talking about referrals. And a referral.
Yeah, where are they coming from? How are they finding me?
You can even know their service provider. And I found out, and actually on one of my accounts, was I had more Windows, but number 2 was Linux users. And for someone,
for the win.
And someone for a website, let's say in software building, and they see, more Windows is coming up to more Windows users than Linux, but let's say, for example, I am a Linux, user, and I'm I'm just giving out my software for free and making sure that people can get to it. But then I see people with the double operating systems, and people that, with the Windows are clicking on there.
Right.
But they don't need what you're basically trying to give them.
Every use case, I think, for every business is going to be different. Your example of a software company that has a Mac version, a Windows version, and a Linux version, they can use the analytic data to see, hey, we're doing really good in the Linux world because there's a lot of Linux users coming to our website. We use that data, for example, to realize that, hey, we've got a lot of viewers that use Microsoft Windows, and maybe we do need to occasionally include a Windows review or something like that, for example, right? But it's different for everybody. So what I set out to do was we want to create an easier way to do it, and I tried doing that with SearchGoblin.com, and SearchGoblin is a site that I own that is just my kind of sandbox for goofing around and figuring things out, and a lot of it impacts me at work and helps me to expedite services that I'm providing to customers, but also at the same time it's a playground for me to be able to do things without affecting those customers. So if you go there and create a Google Analytics report with the generator, it's pretty neat because you don't actually have to do anything. I'm talking about how Google Analytics is so complicated to create just an easy report. I want an overview. I want to know just the basics. So I'm going to go there, and it automatically connects to my account and gives me a list of all the sites that I have. So in my sandbox, for example, I can click Generate Report, and I didn't have to do anything. And it just gives me the data.
So you have the sessions.
Yeah, it gives me the
bounce
referrals and bounce rate and any information that it's able to generate in just a single click.
Right.
This is just a sandbox website, so the data is just kind of skewed, but it helps you out, and it gives suggestions on how to better the website as well. So that's another tool, searchgoblin.com, to get you started. But get on over to google.com/analytics to try this out. We're going to talk about this more on future shows as well, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Get into some of the more advanced stuff. We wanted to kind of get started a little bit easier today.
But if you haven't even if you've heard about it, maybe you were skeptical about it.
What is this?
Thinking it's just everybody uses it. Well, it's being used.
The peer pressure. Everybody's doing it, man.
It is being used for a reason. And just like to make it's basically to make it easier for you to better off your website for your users and for yourself. You can basically get all these insights that you never would have got from a generic little they came from this place,
yes.
But that's it.
We used to have to rely on surveys and hope that 1% of people would respond, and usually it's that demographic that does respond, and so it skews the results. Well, now we can tell how many male and female visitors we have on our website based on Google knows. Google knows, Chad. How cool is that? All right, well, thanks, Erika. That's, I think, a good introduction to Google Analytics. And anything else that you want to add before we get into the news?
Well, there's a lot of exciting news today. It's huge, but I can't wait to hear Sasha. And she's waiting patiently to say the news.
All right, Sasha, over in the newsroom, it's off to you.
Hi, it's Tuesday, August 18th, 2015, and here are the stories we're covering this week. Did you receive one of those portable phone chargers from EE earlier this year? Watch out, they're being recalled for exploding and catching fire. Fly from London, England to New York in about an hour? It could be possible based on a new patent which has been approved for a new model of Concorde aircraft. The rumors are true. Apple is working on an autonomous car. An SSD with nearly 16 terabytes of storage space. Samsung just unveiled the earth-shattering new drive, and we'll tell you all about it. And so it begins. The first big update to Windows 10 has broken a whole bunch of systems, and since Windows 10 doesn't let you choose what updates to install, many users are stuck with an unbootable computer. And they released the pilot this past weekend, and we've got some seriously big news about the future of Star Trek Renegades. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
You've got mad skills. Now hone them. Learn new skills or improve your existing ones with online video tutorials and training from lynda.com through our special link at cat5.tv/Lynda. Learn software, technology, creative, and business skills you can use today to help you achieve your professional goals. Join today and start learning. We'll give you this chance to try it absolutely free with unlimited access to all of the courses. Sign up now for free, cat5.tv/Lynda.
I'm Sasha Dermatis, and here are the top stories from the Category 5.tv newsroom. UK mobile firm EE has recalled a portable charger it had given away after a medical student was left with severe burns when using one. EE said that it had identified 5 incidences where power bars had overheated as a result is recalling one of the batches. That amounts to about 500,000 units, according to the firm. As a gesture of goodwill, it will be offering affected customers a £20 voucher to spend on accessories. In a statement, the firm said, "We have identified a very small number of incidents where power bars had overheated, all of which relate to batch E1-06. So on the side of the actual power bar, it'll say model E106.
Oh, should I bring that up?
Oh, yes, if
I
you
can do
could. That would be perfect.
Through the magic of television.
Yes. So, this model alone could pose a fire safety risk. We are therefore recalling this batch and requesting customers to stop using the power bar and return them to a local store at their earliest convenience. Medical student Katie Emsley from Aberdeen suffered severe burns when her phone charger exploded and set fire to her bedroom floor. I cannot imagine. EE began giving away the smartphone charger to every customer in April. EE was swamped with requests for the charger and estimates that there are now 1.5 million in circulation, but says only the batch identified was affected. The scary thing about that is sometimes you plug your phone into a charger and you leave. Like, you leave your room, you leave the house. Like this poor medical student has burnt her hand, but
oh my gosh,
it could have been much worse. So, and of course, I was reading that news story, and Robbie gave me a phone charger.
I know, but this, I swear, this one will not explode.
And I thought
the phone charger, it's awesome.
It was perfect timing. He gave me a phone charger last week, last week, and I had it at home charging my phone for the whole week. And then I read this news story, and I thought,
sorry about
what
that.
is he doing? Yeah. Okay.
It would have been really funny if it was the same one in the picture. I should have planned that. I should have replaced the picture with the one that I gave you.
News story. Sasha faints because Airbus has won a patent for a hypersonic passenger plane which could potentially fly from London to New York in an hour. That means no matter where you're watching Category 5, you can come visit us. If you're on
there you go. We're going to buy one of these for the studio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dubbed the Concorde 2.0, the jet would be capable of flying more than 4 times the speed of sound. Documents lodged with the U.S. Patent Office refer to an ultra-rapid air vehicle and related method for aerial locomotion. According to the documents, the jet would reach speeds as high as Mach 4.5, or 4.5 times the speed of sound. That compares to Mach 2 for Concorde. The patent application says that the airplane would use a variety of engines that would serve different purposes and power that would come from hydrogen stored on board. 2 turbojets under the fuselage and a rocket motor in the rear would be used during takeoff, and it would lift off vertically like a space shuttle. There is a 0% chance I would get on this thing. Once launched, the turbojets would be shut down and retracted, and the rocket motor would then kick in to climb to an altitude of more than 100,000 feet. Then ramjets, used usually on missiles, would then be ignited and the flight would reach its top speed. No word when, if at all, these patents would actually lead to development. Robbie, would you ride on this? Would you take a flight on the Concorde 2.0?
I would probably wait until they've worked out the bugs, to be honest.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not overly confident.
I would really hope that they equip that plane with many airsick bags, because I can tell you, 4 times the speed of sound, I'm going to get a little bit lightheaded.
At 100,000 feet, though, are you not practically in space? Like, is that the stratosphere? Where does that start? You must be the G force must be a little different up at that height than it would be. Like, we think of 4.5 Mach 4.5 down here would be insane, but up there,
wow,
you'd just be like.
Can you imagine like going for a flight and taking off vertically before
I feel like an astronaut for sure.
Yeah. Wow, my palms are actually really sweaty out from nerves thinking about it.
I think my stomach just dropped thinking about that.
The persistent rumors about Apple building some kind of car have felt at times like they were powered purely by Apple fans desperate for something new and exciting. So far, we've only had theories and mock designs rather than any actual evidence something was happening. But now we have something firm. The Guardian newspaper has gotten a hold of correspondence between Apple engineer Frank Fearon and officials from a car testing facility, Momentum Station. It reads, "We would like to get an understanding of timing and availability for the space and how we would need to coordinate around other parties who would be using it." The note was sent in May. Momentum Station is in Concord, a city a good 30 minutes drive northeast from San Francisco. It's a facility specifically set up to test driverless car technology. With 20 miles or so of road, they would recreate real-world scenarios for the autonomous car industry. So, what does this tell us about Apple's car ambitions? Not much. But it does at least offer for the first time some concrete evidence that plans are in motion. Or that somebody has a great sense of humor and has hacked into Apple's email. But very cool.
So an iCar. It'll
Yes.
be white and rounded, nice smooth edges.
How cool would it be if it had a home key? And you could
Yeah, right. You just push the button and it just takes you there. Nice. Well done.
Yes. At the Flash Memory Summit in California, Samsung has unveiled what appears to be the world's largest hard drive. And somewhat surprisingly, it uses NAND flash chips rather than spinning platters.
Really?
Yes. It's boringly named the PM1633A. Boring, should have named it Sasha. Which is being targeted at the enterprise market, and it manages to cram almost 16 terabytes into a 2.5-inch SSD package. By comparison, the largest conventional hard drives made by Seagate and Western Digital currently max out at 8 or 10 terabytes. To reach such an astonishing density, Samsung has managed to cram 48 layers of 3 bits per cell 3D VNAND into a single die. This is twice as many layers as was possible just 2 years ago. Historically, like most computer chips, NAND flash has been structured on the chip laid down on a single 2-dimensional plane. In a similar way to how logic chips are moving towards 3D transistors, Samsung, and more recently Toshiba and Intel, have been forging ahead with 3D NAND. The simplest way of describing 3D NAND is that everything is turned on its side. So instead of having just one layer of memory cells on a single plane, you can now have dozens of layered cells, all standing up next to each other. In fact, that's where the V comes from in Samsung's VNAND name. It refers to the vertical nature of these cells. At the Flash Memory Summit, Samsung showed off a server with 48 of these new SSDs with a total storage capacity of 768 terabytes and a performance rated at 2 million input-output operations per second. That's insane.
2 million?
2 million. By comparison, the consumer-grade SSD that you probably have in your PC is probably capable of about 10,000 to 90,000 IOPS, depending on the workload. We don't have a price for Samsung's 16 terabyte SSD, but we can't imagine it being much cheaper than $8,000. When it is available, and we do have a price for it, maybe it'll be on Amazon. We can link it to our page. You know, shop for it on our affiliate link.
Insane. 16 terabytes. 16,000 gigabytes. My first hard drive was 30 megs.
Wow. Mind blown.
Unbelievable. And what is this going to do
Crazy.
for servers and the cloud? Being able to throw a whole bunch of these at it?
How fast would everything work? Not very fast at all if you have Windows 10 right now. Windows 10's first major update has stranded some users in an endless loop of reboots. And it's not even February 2nd. Users have been reporting the problem to Microsoft, which is yet to suggest a solution. Not ideal for an OS which is less than 2 weeks old. Known as KB308124, The update incorporates a number of bug fixes for the new operating system, but has been failing on some machines. When this happens, Windows 10 automatically reverts to a previous version. But as Windows 10 updates are automatic and mandatory, it then tries to install the dodgy update again. Some users reported the update getting to a certain percentage before failing, with uninstalls taking a long time when Windows 10 gets stuck in a reboot loop. The problem has been exacerbated as Windows 10 updates are forced and cannot be turned off. While this policy was intended to make the operating system more secure, some have argued that users should be given control over whether or not they choose to update. This is true. Windows 10 users writing on Microsoft's help forums identified a fix for the update loop error that involved deleting certain keys from the registry. Those uncomfortable with changing the registry should wait until Microsoft issues an official fix, or download Linux. Install Linux.
Thanks for that.
No problem.
So we got to wait for Microsoft to post a fix for the fix.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me.
What I'm confused about, and I'm sure that they figured this out, but if this is a loop where the update is failing and then it reverts back and it tries to update again, at what point are they going to be able to insert a fix? Like, I'm worried that the loop is going to be unbreakable, but it's
frustrating too. We've got some viewers on YouTube who have been experiencing this week and saying, how do I fix this looping problem? And the problem is it's also kind of different for each system, and different systems will have different fixes. So there's no one answer to get you up and running.
Yeah, which is horrible. I mean, if you only have one working computer and your operating system happens to be Windows 10 at this point, I'm sorry. Now, this is the best news. We have got breaking news for Star Trek fans. We'll tell you what's up right after this.
Not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Unlike you, Khan Noonien Singh was a great warrior. You are just a failed genetic experiment.
Until 3 years ago, the planet Siphon was not on any of our charts. I fear the Federation is on the verge of collapse.
I will bring the Federation to their knees for what their portal did to us.
We have urgent matters to discuss.
We have nothing to discuss.
The biggest news to hit the pointy ears of Star Trek fans in a very, very long time. Star Trek Renegades will be producing further episodes. Following the successful release of the pilot movie this past weekend, we're excited to announce the schedule of 12 episodes per season. For reasons the Renegades team were not able to disclose, CBS cannot move forward with Star Trek Renegades at this time, or any Star Trek series for that matter. However, an exciting Plan B has been initiated. Star Trek Renegades will be moving forward as an independently produced, fan-supported internet TV series. Awesome.
Nice.
The current film will be episode 1, and they are already writing episodes 2 and 3. Chekhov will be part of the next 2 episodes, but then will be retired. The role will be retired. In addition to most of the Renegades cast returning, the wheels are also in motion to bring many Star Trek stars and their familiar characters. Awesome. To accomplish 12 episodes per season, they'll use conventional episodic television production schedules, including shooting each episode in 7 or 8 days, editing and scoring the episode over the next month, and then completing the visual effects over the following 2 to 3 months. This is now possible since the team is already in place, and the most difficult and time-consuming visual effects work was completed for the pilot. So cool. Visit StarTrekRenegades.com for more info. Big thanks this week to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us. If you found a new story you would like to send, email it to newsroom@category5.tv. For all your tech news with a slight Linux bias, visit the category5.tv newsroom at newsroom.category5.tv. For the category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Dermatis.
Thanks, Sasha. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Welcome to the show. Hey, if you're new here, greetings. Want to say hi to some of our newly registered viewers. Let's go through the list. Grumpy PC. Welcome to Category 5 TV.
Trojan Spike.
Mike.
Scatterbrain.
Sedona Red. Welcome.
You got TI2D.
It's like a rap.
Yeah.
Tophier. Welcome to the show.
Hot Caribbean.
And Piper Pavdo.
Gallet. It's like watch us.
Oh yeah, Galit Florence. Yeah, and AZ Toffelhandel. You guys. Welcome to the show, though.
Michael Tech.
Hey, how do you get Michael Tech?
I'm getting really lucky.
I got AZ Toffelhandel. I'm Beach. I got Beach Geek. Hey, Beach Geek. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, PDF Smail.
And Nate UK. Welcome to the community and already giving back. Thanks for being here. All right. Do we have time? Can we pretty please answer some viewer questions?
So, I know. So much.
Thanks for that, by the way, Sasha. That is some exciting news. I am stoked about Star Trek Renegades.
I love it. I absolutely love that we got to show the trailer. Breaking news.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
When Google comes at us and says, hey, copyrights, we actually talked to the creators of Star Trek Renegades and got the A-OK. So there you have it.
Exclusively for you guys.
Just for you. All right, what do you got for me?
I got a really great question. This is actually dating back to the Unraid 6 episode.
Yeah, all right.
So I have successfully upgraded Unraid 6. Congrats. But I don't understand where my stuff is when I install a Docker app like Sync. It syncs my photos from my phone, but where they are on, but I don't know where they are on my server.
Okay. So your Unraid server is a Linux machine. It's Slackware. So if you hop on to your server, access it over Samba, however you want to do it, you'll find in the directory tree of Linux, you've got /mnt mount. Has all of your mount points. If you go into the MNT folder, you'll see disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. Those are the physical disks of your Unraid server. You don't necessarily want to go into any of those because if I copy a folder that has 100 files and I've got 7 drives in my array, it's going to automatically select where to put the files and they won't necessarily all be on one drive. So there's a folder or a mount point, if you will, called user. And if you go into that, so mnt/user, then you'll see all of your user shares. If you haven't created any yet, you can actually create those through the Unraid panel. And you can set those up and point them at your system. But essentially, I mean, you can go into /mnt/wherever, and you'll see that's the file system, not of the flash drive, but of the actual physical hard drives. and then you can locate them. And of course, you can go into your Docker settings, and I wish I had an Unraid server here. We're going to be putting one together on the show, and then I can actually demonstrate. But if you go into the Docker settings by going to the IP address of your server and logging in, then you'll be able to actually change or view, at least at this point, the storage folder where it's actually putting your Docker apps, where it's storing things. But that Docker app has, or that Docker container has access to the physical array. So as you save things in Docker, whatever it is, it's actually saving to the array. You just need to see where it's pointing to, and you can see that in the Docker settings on the panel. So good luck. Do we have time for one more? I hear an enormous storm brewing out there, right? Anybody walking home? Nobody's walking home? Very good.
Ooh.
What's this?
I have a question. So just wondering where you could purchase the brick backdrop to your set.
Oh, you like that? I'd suggest Amazon. How do you like that? Go to our website, category5.tv. Go to support us, and you'll see the affiliate links. Follow that through to your local Amazon. And just, it's wallpaper. So do a search for faux brick wallpaper or brick wallpaper, and you'll be able to find some stuff. And then get some friends to come help you put it up. There you go.
Well, thanks, Alan, for your interest. And it does sound like a storm.
There's a storm brewing right at the end of the show, folks, and that's all of the time. I can't believe that the time is up. But thank you, Erika, for all your input into the show tonight, and thanks to those of you at home. Great news for Star Trek fans, and really excited about that. Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you.
Hope you all have a fantastic week. See you next Tuesday.
Thanks, guys, for
Good night.
watching. Have an awesome night.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local showtimes in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.